And we're live.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Friday Night Georgia Shooting Connection live stream. Glad everybody could make it. We are pleased as punch to have you. Uncle Jim, sorry for the minute delay there. We were trying to get our brother Insight Freedom with us. He's going to be joining us here in a bit. He was on a mad dash home, and I think he is just settling down in his chair, so we should be seeing him shortly.
Wait a
how's
minute.
everybody doing this lovely evening?
8:02 and Uncle Jim's throwing hammers.
I'm great. It's Friday.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chico.
Oh no, I'm great. No problem, Jamie, at all. I'm great. What about you, Kyle?
Woo.
Or Jamie?
What happened to Kyle? Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I was just sending. Scott's going to be our guest tonight, and we're going to be talking with him about a certain thing coming up. Okay, sorry, Uncle Jim. I'm 3 minutes late, so I would say shoot me, but he might take that literally. Hey Mario, what's up, brother? We're glad to be with y'all on a Friday night. And then there's Mr. Kyle. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. I'm sorry. As soon as you went live, the pizza guy showed up. Oh, how's everybody doing tonight?
Great.
I'm doing well.
Well, that's awesome. I'm trying to get on the side chat. That's what I was in the middle of doing when I heard.
Everybody's got to have the priorities in order. You got to eat, man.
Thank you, Mr. Old Soldier. I just pulled up the side chat, and the frogs are good. Mario, hello everybody. I'm sorry it took me a minute, and I'm just speed reading.
Want to say happy anniversary to Tim over at the PC Bullet Empire. Glad to see the 30 long years, brother. I hope you guys have a good night tonight.
Awesome, Tim. I'm happy for you.
That is 30 years is a long time, and that is it's pretty rad, at least in my book.
Yeah, he did better than me. I've been married for 33 years, but it's been to two different women.
Been married my whole adult life, just to multiple different people.
Yeah. Yeah. So what have y'all been doing gun-wise? Anybody doing anything? Kyle was just saying how he had a bunch of bullets he needed to load up.
Yeah, I'm looking under my bench, and there's all kinds of mason jars and salsa jars, and I need to put some of them in some casings. Yeah, they're just everywhere.
Yeah, I hear that, brother. I don't have that many bullets necessarily. I usually keep pretty well loaded up what I cast, but yeah, I got stuff that needs to be loaded. Like, just haven't had time to get to it.
I mean, I've got plenty of ammo loaded. I just don't realize that I get out there on the back porch. Ah, crap! Be right back.
Other than that, I'm waiting on the Dylan, which should be here Tuesday. I was hoping to get it by this weekend so that I could be fiddling with it all weekend long, but now it's going to get here on Tuesday, so I'm going to get to work on cleaning on it and everything else. Gonna go shoot I was gonna shoot the Bushmaster last weekend, but there was a bit of a scheduling snafu, and then, like I said earlier, the loaded cap gun's out of town this weekend, so me being on the bike, it's kind of hard to get to the range with the AR and kind of zip tied to my saddlebag. So might put some unwanted attention. So probably gonna put that off till next weekend. But other than that, man, maybe doing a little bit of casting. That's been about it for me. I haven't been too busy on that stuff lately.
So Mario's been loading up those bullets I sent him, and Thoughts of an Old Soldier said he had a brother was married for 40 years to 6 different women. I ain't quite doing that bad, but I'm sorry, I don't think I can do that, man. I mean, you get to a point where enough's enough. No.
I ain't too sure. I want a second.
Well,
Much heartache and treachery as the first one caused. I don't know if I can go through that shit again.
I can only imagine, man. I've been, I guess, lucky and cursed all at the same time. I haven't had one yet, so.
Jeremy, we were just talking about you, buddy. I'm sick. I had to go to the urgent care yesterday, so y'all forgive me if I start sneezing and hacking. I'll hit the mute button and block my screen and all that kind of stuff. So I'll probably be in and out. So I hope nobody else gets this crap. But really, man, it happens to me every May. I think it's just allergies. Whatever pollen is out this time of the year just does me in.
Mario says he's been married to 21 years. What's his name, brother? I'm just messing with you, man. That's awesome. 21 years is a long time.
There's the Scotsman. And I saw Big Al's video. He got a big blue machine. We're glad for you, Big Al. A little bit envious.
Chico, I don't know what's going on bandwidth-wise, brother, but you are really herky-jerky. Whenever you go to talk, it's like a serious delay, at least on my side. I don't know if everybody else is.
It must be my. It must be my connection. You know what? I'm gonna sign out and sign back in because all I hear is robots. I hear a little bit, but I'm assuming that's what you said.
All right, brother.
Something of the sort. Technical difficulties. Not even seeing the side chat. Look at.
Yes, sir. Oh, Andy79Z28. We got Cranky Cletus with us, who's going to be going to a Phillies Mets game here soon, which is pretty awesome. Mario says he is not in the Navy, sir. I can appreciate that. My boss is a Navy man, and he doesn't appreciate me saying that they have too many outfits. He got tight over that one day. He's like, they're uniforms. I'm like, oh, no, I know. But, come on. When you have like 80 of them, they become outfits. Got John's hand loading, Fuzz to Fork 8. Thoughts of an old soldier. Glad to see you, brother. Michael Signs in the side chat. Red Raider Reloading, a.k.a. Larry K. That's a name, brother. I like that, Red Raider Reloading. I say that 3 times real fast, Red Rover. John's hand loading. Nice to see you, brother. The Crazy Scotsman. Everybody go check his channel out. If you don't know who the Scotsman is, you're missing out. Go find the man. Does real great work. And we're trying to get him to 2,000 subs if we can. Oh, I'm pretty sure I said Big Al, but Big Al, it's good to see you, brother. Jeremy Gunslinger. Watched a bit of your chat the other day. Looked like a pretty good time, brother. Edward Petty, nice to see you. Daniel, God is my judge. Glad to see you out here. I haven't said Vanessa Kitty, but I'm sure she is here. Thanks for coming out.
Yes,
yep, there we are. RG Homestead, nice to see you. Tacos and French fries. Man, I have yet to try that ever since I saw your name. That is on the list of things to be done.
Hey, one of the best things on the planet is go to Del Taco, get you a couple of classic tacos and some chili cheese fries, man. It's awesome.
Well, wait a minute. I've had tacos and French fries before, but it's been Jack in the Box. And those really barely count.
Jack in the Crack's not tacos.
Yeah. So we got Uncle Jim and there was somebody else I wanted to call out. We got Signal Soldier 31. Glad to see you, brother. There was somebody else I wanted to say hey to. 67 Rail SST. I am Pamela Earth. That's who I was looking for. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming. And another mention to Tim and his big 30th. So, guys, we got quite a few people out there already, and we appreciate every one of you coming out and watching us do our thing. We got 30 folks in the watching the stream right now. That is quite a few. Chris 338, glad to see you. And we got Scott from Insight Freedom is going to be joining us here soon. I don't know if we have a big time topic for this evening, but we talked a little bit about bullet seating, and maybe we'll get into I don't know, powder choice or something. Heck, who knows? If you got some great ideas, something you want to hear us talk about, be sure to throw that in the side chat, and we'll do what we can for it. So, Jamie, what you got going on, man? How you been? How you living? Besides sick.
Just living the dream, man. I was over here before we got started. I was separating a bucket of lead wheel weights, and I was telling Kyle the last time I cast up some bullets and I powder coated them, and then I checked the hardness, and I was up around 24, 28, somewhere around in there in BHN, and yeah. Well, thank you, Miss Cap Gun. Thank you very much. She likes my beard. You got to work on that, Nathan.
It ain't gonna get like that, brother. It starts to get a little long, and I got to trim on it. I can't do the. I can't imagine what it looked like because it's all black under here and then kind of thin on the sides. I imagine it would just turn into like this giant knot of bush, not bush light. I mean, it's like the straight stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, one thing I'm kind of liking the stick-on wheel weights here lately, and I got to work on my alloys. I got to work on getting some softer alloys for pistol type stuff. I guess that 24, 26 would be all right for like running 30-06 out at 2,600 feet per second. But,
are you water quenching them?
oh yeah.
Well, that's what's causing that to be like that. I mean, it'd be probably 16 or so if you just let them air cool.
Big Al just had a really good question, which I know he's sitting in his reloading room playing with that brand new, beautiful blue 650. Really jealous. He said, how much belling is too much? And is there a way to tell? The way that I do it when I'm setting up my powder measure with a Dillon is you get it just to where the bullet will go inside the lip. You don't want to blunderbuss the brass, just where it'll sit in there. And you having a 650, you can actually put a Lee factory crimp die on the back side of it after you seat it, which will resize the whole thing again with the bullet loaded and give you your correct overall length or overall diameter.
I agree with that. The only thing I would say that you want to look out for is if you're running a softer lead, make sure that your case expander is expanding the case wide enough to be able to accept the bullet and not swedge the bullet down. I don't know if that made any sense. I'll try to elaborate and make sense. A lot of times what you'll find is you'll have a 315 bullet, and then you go and measure, and you got a 312 case expander. So what it'll end up doing is it'll swedge those bullets down to 313 at the base, which could lead to gas cutting and other issues. So that's something to keep in mind when you're trying to work up, get all your equipment together. NOE sells like some custom expander plugs. But that bell, I mean, most of my dies won't even accept an excessive bell. They just won't. They're too tight. So if you have too much there, it won't even go in the die.
Well, the Dillon is set up. I don't think I have one that's not mounted. The bell is on the powder measure itself. It's just a tube with a radius cut in it, okay? And so however deep you seat the powder die has nothing to do with how much powder you put in the case. It's how much it bells. And the Dillon's a little bit different. I wish I had one sitting here and I'd show you. But I know what he's saying, because when I was first setting my 550 up, you could play with it and, oh, this is great. Then you start splitting cases because you're belling it too much. You just need just enough of a bell on there where the bullet will make it inside the outer upper rim of the case.
Andy 79Z28 says it'll shave the lead, not swedge it. Well, that's not necessarily true. If you've got a good enough size bell on there to where it's not actually cutting the lead, it'll swedge that lead down until the die closes that case mouth up. So what Kyle said, just enough to set it down in there and make sure that you got enough. So too much rain here in the desert, says the full lead and taco. Oh, stop watching that guy, Al. I don't think so, brother. I think I'm going to keep watching that, Al. He seems to be a pretty good feller. Larry Palmer, glad to see you.
We were all complaining about rain here, a month ago? And now I'm kind of wishing it would, because my yard's getting a little dry.
Is it? Yeah, it's drying a popcorn fart out there.
Man, it is hot in Georgia right now.
Supposed to get up close to 100 next week, Tuesday.
Yep.
Larry asked, does the Leaf factory crimp die size the bullet when crimping? It depends on the size of the bullet and the type of factory crimp die. Some
they do have a couple of different ones, yeah.
Some will, because they're what I would call a bulge buster. They got a ring in there that makes sure that the bullet will be able to chamber in any chamber, and some of those that are built that way are called a factory crimp die, and they will size your bullets inside the case.
Okay, all right. They've got some factory crimp dies. Hang on a minute. That are just they're just, this is the die right here. It's just a machined orifice that the whole case goes in, and that's what it does. But like for my 44 Magnum, it's got this sleeve that'll actually resize the entire case, bullet, and everything. And that's what Mr. Robinson was talking about when he was trying to resize the cases with just that one die. And it didn't really turn out too well for him, but at least he went through the steps and tried to do it. So that was interesting. And that sounded wrong, didn't it?
Daniel says
I didn't mean it that way.
And mowing is overrated. Don't tell Tin Man that. He seems to have a thing for mowing.
I just want to keep it alive. I don't really care about mowing it.
Yeah. Oh, what else we got here? Been raining in Lubbock. Boy, the side chat's moving so fast, I'm having a hard time keeping up.
No doubt. I was just giggling at what Daniel said. It's an
orifice.
It's an orifice. Hey.
John's hand loading. I came home the other day and he sent me something. Let me see if I can unbox this thing. Let me get my Chico knife. Check it out, Chico. That thing's still sharp as a razor. Yeah, buddy.
I'm going to snag me some of this pizza and hot wings before it gets cold. Give me just a second. I'll be right back.
All right, so Jamie's opening a box and Kyle's opening his beak. Oh, man. And Chico's muted, I think, due to technical issues, I'm assuming.
I hope I'm all right. We'll know if it does that again. What I'm reading the side chat off of is buffering, but the side chat's moving. The video's buffering, but I just shut down everything. I did like a hard reset. I don't know what was up. Maybe it's because it's Friday.
Yeah, that's entirely possible.
But that powder expander that Kyle was talking about, this is what one looks like on a Dillon. This is how it expands. This is the good thing I like about the Dillon, and you guys know, man. I like because their stuff comes apart. Like it makes it so easy to change the dies. I think if you get the newer dies, they got the pull pins. It makes it so easy. But this is that expander. This is for 45 also. So I got brass somewhere around here. that expander die, it goes up on the case, and when the case goes up on the expander, it'll expand it just enough. And I agree with both Nathan and Kyle said, just enough to make the bullet sit in there. If it shaves off some of the lead or the coating or the jacket, you don't have enough bail on it. All right, take it away, Nathan. Sorry.
No, man. No. It's all good, brother.
Michael, I saw that video. I ain't had a chance to watch it yet. I was getting ready for this, but Mr. John's hand loading.
Yeah, this is a subject we could talk about all night long.
Sent me a bag of brass.
Very cool. We like brass. Reloaders, we like brass.
Yeah, baby. Look at that. Check that out. Guess what? Y'all gonna guess what caliber?
35 Remington.
35 Remington.
Do what, Chico?
I think me and Nathan said the same thing. 35 Remington at the same time.
No wonder I could only hear Nathan. 8mm Mauser. Check it out, Taco. I got some more brass.
Woohoo!
I'm telling y'all what, Mr. Taco has the coolest range toys of anybody I've ever seen in my life. I really like that dueling tree and that big, huge swinger. Man,
we gotta build us one of those swingers, Jamie.
We do, man. And that 10mm really makes that thing go, man.
I really enjoyed that video. They had a lot of fun.
Miss Cap Gun, I cannot tell a lie. I am trying to figure out who concocted the thought of ruining a perfectly good, defenseless peanut by boiling it in hot water for 8 hours.
8 hours?
Touchdown! I couldn't agree more.
I like them deep fried. I like them roasted, raw. Even raw is better than boiled.
Who wants?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of boiled either.
Hot, soggy peanuts. It's just such a terrible idea.
All right, I'm the odd man out. I love them.
Okay, let me explain something to Miss Capgun here. I don't eat nothing I ain't got to chew. You understand what I'm saying?
Except for ice cream.
I don't eat boiled okra. I don't eat raw oysters. So, no. I'm gonna chew it up and then hopefully I can swallow it and keep it down. But Mr. John's Hands Reloading, thank you so much for that brass. It will go to good use. I'm gonna I got one load right here I've already loaded up of 8mm Mauser. I've had loaded up, I bet 2 months. And these are some 175 grain bullets that Charlie Brackstuffer sent me. And I got them loaded up, just ready to go to the range. And I've got some 165 grains from the mold that Eagle sent me. And then Charlie sent me some of these bullets too, but I've showed y'all these. I got a dummy round loaded up with these somewhere. Here it is right here. Check that bad boy out.
Ooh, that's a missile.
That's like 204 grains of 8mm Mauser sweetness, baby. That's what
anything that long needs tail fins on it.
It does. So.
I'm sorry. I'm trying not to be rude, but I just wanted to give my nod of approval on that one.
Jamie,
I'm eating my dinner, so I'm blanking myself out.
Jamie, it looks like Scott's having a little bit of issues there.
Okay.
Uncle Jim said that it's like the circus when Taco shows up to the shooting range. Man, I can see that. They all show up there in like, a little Volkswagen Beetle and start coming out of there, bringing out tents and accoutrement. saw the I don't know if you guys saw Uncle Jim's video where he's trying to do some or have it looked like it was some share between him and his wife doing some embroidery work. And that was some really good music work and some nice cut scenes. That was really well put together, man. I need to step up my video production game when I do a video. I tend to go with just kind of simple transitions, but you got something that was good. That was good stuff. Oh boy. Andy 79Z28 says he got a new mold for his 30-06. That's awesome, man. Love to see some load development on that. What else we got here? Oh, he's getting an Annealis. That's awesome. I've been using the Lazy Susan method for most of my life, and I don't see me changing that any. Yeah, a clown car full of guns, floppy red clown shoes, and AR-15s. And a high point.
I use an electric drill with a 10mm socket.
Yeah, that'll work as well. Hey, Walter, glad to see you. Yeah, case expansion is an interesting thing, man. I'm a big fan of the M-die. I really like the way it opens up the case mouth to be able to accept the bullet a little bit easier without actually having the flare. I find that
you kind of need it for 45 Colt.
It's nice with 45 Colt. There's some other ones that I like it a lot for as well. I really like it for 32 mag, but I've used it for a lot of different rounds, and I found it to be pretty doggone useful. The other thing I like it for is if I'm doing something that's going to be head spacing on the case mouth, I think it does a better job of keeping the case mouth true than just working that edge over and over again, like a normal expander plug from Lee or something would. Oh boy. Yeah, Andy says the M-die is great. Yeah, it's a honey of a design.
It's just a little step, right?
Yeah, it's a stepped expander plug, and the very last bit you're kind of supposed to go up over that lip, and it instead of just rolling that edge, it creates a step in the neck. Next step. Hey, Curtis.
Like that. Just goes down and then in.
Yep. William C. Chapin's on board. Glad to see you. Walter Davis, nice to see you, brother.
So, Scott, I sent you another link, bud. You can hear me.
Man, those chicken wings are hot. Woo.
Well, that's better than being cold.
The guy that brought them said, "How in the world can you order dynamite chicken wings?" I said, "Man, they're good. You ever tried them?" He said, "Yeah, that's why I'm wondering how you can eat them."
Yeah. I wasn't saying that mess without some kind of basis of comparison. I'll tell you what I really like, and this sounds cheap or whatever, but for some reason, the hot sauce that Domino's puts on their the regular hot wings goes great with pepperoni pizza. Like, it's a thing, man. I don't know why. Yeah, Fuzz Lyman makes that M-die, and NOE copies it with a expander plug.
I think it's just a regular Texas Pete and butter traditional sauce that they make.
Yeah, I don't know what they use. I mean, it might be, but it tends to have a little bit. I don't know. For me, it's unique. I haven't found a hot sauce that tastes quite like that. I usually use Cholula, but sometimes I'll try whatever if I'm at a restaurant and I want to use it. But I used to get trouble for using it.
My house isn't a hazmat zone right now. You're going to have to wait a couple hours.
Daniel's on you hard, buddy.
I know it. I'm used to it. I don't care. Come down here and say it to my face, and we'll go shooting together. All right?
Speaking of which, we got to get Scott on here some way or another. We got
Do you want me to forward him the link that you sent me?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if I can do that.
I sent him a link on Hangouts, like I sent him just a message with the link. I copied it, the link that we're in, and I did it. That's when I told him to back out and try it again. Sometimes that happened to me. If I got that Hangout app, if he's on his phone or mobile device, I I'll take it all the way off my screen, like shut it off. Not the phone or the device, but I'll close out the app totally and do it again.
Now, certain people just have trouble connecting on our live streams.
Well, I've had that before and Kyle, I remember both of us had that before where we log in and it says we're on the live stream, but we're on a different one than what everybody else is. So who knows, man? Sometimes it's gremlins, I suppose. Gremlin. What a fun word.
It's the powers that be.
Yeah.
So another thing we're going to take care of tonight is Mr. Nathan's giveaway here at some point tonight. So don't go nowhere, folks. Y'all hang out.
Yep. I got for those of you that did enter, we got 9 entries, so you're gonna have pretty high percentages here. We're just gonna draw out of a hat, so nothing fancy, but it will get done.
As Chico would say, I'm liking them odds.
Yeah, exactly.
The odds are good when it's only 9 people.
All right, I just sent him one. We'll
that's a lottery worth playing.
Hey, Kit Curtis, how you doing, brother?
Kit,
I was just talking about you, and you showed up. It's almost like the ghost of Mig.
Hi, bye.
Yeah. We were just talking about mowing grass and how everybody hates it, and I said, you better not say it around 10 man. He gets a little worked up over it.
I've got a confession that I successfully was able to do something that I've never tried before. So I've got a video on the Reloaders Network, but I didn't put it on YouTube yet. Well, basically, it's, I let Reloaders Network get it first. And that thing took off. It was, I don't know if y'all seen it. It's my reload events, like a reload events tour. So I had to clean it up first because it was messy.
Yeah, I'll have to get over there and check that out. I gotta look at Michael Sign's video too as soon as we get done. And
I did to Jamie. I said I'm gonna try to leave it on there a couple of days before I turn it loose on YouTube.
I generally always do. Nathan will leave them up there 3 or 4 days. I generally give it at least 48 hours, and then whenever I remember, I'll go turn it back live on YouTube. So at least 2 days.
Yeah, that in a couple months ago when I was posting videos more regular, it usually would double my views on a video within the first week. If I left it on TRN for 3 days exclusive and then turned it live, it would double my total viewers, within that first 2 weeks. And then after that first 2 weeks, whatever happens is just due to algorithms and search functions.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Mets just pulled ahead, so my brain's somewhere else.
Yeah, Cranky was asking if your giveaway was going to be a autographed Mets jersey.
Oh, that's what he was saying. No, I do have a Mets jersey. It's an old one. I've had probably 15 years or so. And it's a white home jersey. I've had it for a long time. I really want to get a blue home alternate, but I am wearing a Mets t-shirt. But no, I'm not giving away a jersey, man. Especially now that there was a chance that Cranky would get it, because Lord knows what he would do with it. That would just be terrible.
Oh, Taco, my sinuses are flowing, brother.
Oh, boy. Thor, I'll tell you what, Thor's asked a whole case of Ot 6s does sound like a good time, especially if you got a good running M1 or something. That'd be really fun. I remember my dad's M1 was having an issue with a spring that was a little weak, and you get about 3 rounds in each clip, and then she'd spit the rest out. Like bang, 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 and then just spit everything else out the top.
Yeah,
I think we got that.
Buddy Jordan's M1. It has trouble chambering the second round. It'll fire the first one, but won't chamber the second one. But then if you manually work it, boom, 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 boom.
Mm-hmm.
Just they've got their little quirks.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we got a kick out of it. We were down at the range one time. This is probably 14 years ago or so, and we were shooting the M1, and a young man showed up at the range. I'm pretty sure he was Air Force, and he got to looking at it, and he wanted to look at it, and Dad let him hold it. And next thing you know, he's got a borescope out and all this stuff, and he's talking about all these numbers. And my dad is just like, I don't give a damn about any of that. Like, it was just funny. It was like this kid was all worked up about, collector stuff, and Dad's just like, while he is a bit of a collector at heart, it's just like he doesn't, he would never buy a Rockola over anything else because it says Rockola on it and it's rare. It's just not his nature. But it was just funny. That kid was all kinds of worked up, and Dad was just like, what in the hell's wrong with this boy?
Did you see what Bacon wrote?
Oh, I must have heard. I'm sure, man. We had all kinds of little league teams named after the professional teams, so it's entirely possible. However, I typically follow the major league team that went to the World Series in 2015, not that long ago.
So who was that?
Oh, it's getting like that now, ain't it?
Yeah.
Wait, who was that?
Yeah. New York Metropolitans.
They let metrosexuals in the World Series?
I'm sure they do. I'm absolutely sure. I mean, all kind of. You look at sports. Come on now, a lot of dudes wearing fur coats.
That's funny. I watch actually athletic sports.
What'd you say, Nathan?
I said there's all kinds of athletes out there wearing fur coats, so I'm sure there are metrosexuals in the World Series.
Yeah, I mean, you got Bruce Jenner. I mean,
nice, Dan. That's good stuff.
I shouldn't say that, but it's doesn't come in my mind, so I'm probably going to say it eventually anyway. Talking about fur coats, my thought is, well, pimping ain't easy, boys.
Exactly. Pimping ain't easy.
Speaking of which, I got something over here. Uncle Jim, I've been holding back, but since I said that, I'm going to have to show y'all anyway.
Nice. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Now, all you need now, brother, is a hawk feather.
I'm holding out for a turkey feather.
Woo, boy. So you're going to have to walk with a cane. It's a little pimp walk going on.
Well, I got that pimp walk down.
Get you some baby powder for that hand in case you got to put something on somebody.
I'm 57 years old. The limp thing is not a problem.
It comes naturally.
I was telling my friends that are down from Illinois, I got new neighbors, and I went to high school with the wife, but I just met the husband, and he got out of the truck, and he was all limping, and I'm like, Brian, what's wrong, man? He goes, bad hip. It's called getting old. I'm like, oh, that's got to suck. You should be my age, And I think he's like 1 year younger than me. And I got out of the car the other day after sitting in traffic for so long, and it was all I could do to walk to the mailbox, and he's out there painting the house, and he goes, that's what you get. I couldn't hardly walk.
We play a lot of jazz stuff at in our orchestra at church, so I got some shades in there, Daniel. But yeah, that works really good when we're playing that big band style stuff from the 40s. I love that music. That's my favorite kind to play at church. It's not easy.
Pimping ain't easy. I agree.
That's right. It ain't easy.
You been said that.
New York Orthodox.
All right, so Scott says he's tried everything to join, even restarted his computer.
Well,
so we've emailed, we've texted. What other method of
Did he try the link that I sent him? I just sent it to him like 5 minutes ago. That's how I hopped on and just clicked on go and call and join call and bada bada bada.
All right, I'm gonna send him one. Send him an email.
I think we just froze for a bit. We buffered for a second there. That's kind of first in a while. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Was I doing something I shouldn't have?
I don't know. I just started watching the thing spin there for a bit. Hope we don't have too many more technical difficulties. Says a huge area link that there is.
Mr. Chico is back with us. I take it you didn't like my hat, brother?
I didn't see it. I had to run off. I heard some screaming. I had to make sure it wasn't my son.
Uh-oh.
It's the neighbors. It's summertime. It is neighborhood kids.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we won't see the SWAT team tonight again. Like
no
we did about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, summertime, So I see where it said he joined, but he said he didn't see the video. Yeah, because it was like, yeah, I see it.
I mean, Insight's got on a million different live streams, so it's not like he didn't know how to do it. That's why.
Yeah, it's probably something up with the Hangouts. You know how that is. I wonder.
I see Thorzak says living with a stripper ain't easy. Man, tell me about that. My roommate for some time managed a dance establishment, and man, the amount of drama that comes out of one of those places, woo, more than anybody should have to put up with. John's hand loading says there's a lot of chop tonight. Yeah, I think I'm seeing that we're getting some hang-ups and some different things. I don't know, maybe I don't know. Hopefully we can just kind of power through and it's not too bad. Maybe the entire world decided to throttle back the internet tonight. Mm-hmm. Who knows? Yeah, amen, man. Yeah, dude. I was stationed in Fayetteville for a while, right outside Fort Bragg, and that was common, man, for guys to be dating exotic dancers, and it's like, man, it ain't worth it. I don't care what she looks like, just the amount of nonsense you got to deal with.
I won't say what I'm thinking. Y'all probably deducted.
Well, hey, you know what? She's got to put herself through college somehow.
I support single mothers.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. I did when I was younger anyway. Now I have the perfect woman, and I don't even notice that there's any other ladies about.
Good save.
Signal Soldier Bragg sucks. I agree. Worst place in the entire country I've ever been. Lived there for 3 years. Bragg getting bad, but Fayetteville is a cesspool. I'm serious, man. I've been 39. Oh, sorry, brother.
Oh, no, go ahead. I was going to say it decided to work, Insight.
That link worked.
Hey, man. Okay. Nice to see you.
Hey, bro.
There he is.
Hey, Kyle. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Chico. What's up, fellows?
Oh, I ate another 2 more of those hot wings, and now I'm on fire.
Yep. Yeah, if I had to kick off summer with the boy yesterday, eating some hot wings, that's his favorite thing. Got his summer haircut, half size on the rear. He's good to go.
If you ever get down this way, there's a pizza joint right across the street from my house. right across the 4-lane down the hill. And they got the best hot wings I've ever put in my mouth, but oh my Lord, they're hot.
That's me. I love them, and everybody says. My wife says I can't ask you if something's spicy because stuff that fires most people up. I'm just sitting there chewing away, not drinking anything, and she'll take a bite of it and have to run to the bathroom and wash her mouth out and stuff. So that was my dad's tradition. He used to love hot peppers, and so I grew up eating, everything hot, especially that Georgia stuff that grows in that clay. Those peppers down there were extra hot all the time.
I got 15 cayennes in the backyard right now, brother.
I love it. I eat spicy stuff every day.
Yeah, I've got a spice threshold. Once it gets a little too hot, it's like, all right, this isn't tasting like anything except for pain, and pain tastes bad.
Yeah, a year ago we were down in New Orleans, and they've got those hot sauce shops everywhere, and we stopped in one of them, and I was walking around sampling stuff, and the black ladies that were running it behind the counter, and one of them, she goes, "Honey, don't you want something to drink?" And I said, "I'm trying to find some hot stuff," and she goes, "Oh Lord, if you hadn't had anything hot, come over here." She pulled out something called Death Nectar, which was Carolina Reapers, and I took a few bites of it, and it started sweating off I just started feeling the beads rolling down my forehead. And she said, "You want some drink?" I said, "I'm bound and determined not to drink anything." She said, "Then you're going to take this bottle home with you."
Dang.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Man, that's crazy.
You see my hat, Scott?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I could see. I was watching, trying to watch over on the YouTube side to see what's going on. Saw a lot of good suggestions for feathers for you.
Yeah.
It didn't even, Scott, it didn't even dawn on me you were trying to get on a computer. I don't know why I text you that link.
Well, on my computer, I usually get the text come through, but for some reason, when it does that way, it doesn't always connect to Hangouts. But I tried, I guess, probably 2 or 3 different emailed links, and that last one that didn't have anything but the link on it worked. It didn't go through all those extra steps, and it just jumped me right in. So that was the magic.
But that was the one that locked up the video feed there for a minute. So, hey, it's worth it. You're here now. Let's have some fun. What do you say?
Let's do. I'm not driving in Nashville traffic, so it's all good.
So are you in Nashville or Knoxville right now?
No, I had a late appointment today, and just needed to hang out, needed to be around my mom. My siblings are all out of town on things, and so I needed to be here for her tonight, and then I'll head over tomorrow.
I was the last time I went through Nashville, I was coming back from St. Louis, and on the interstate just hit dead stop traffic. I didn't see anything at all. It just stopped. And I'm sitting there, and about 5 minutes after I'm sitting there, my guts just drop. And I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, oh, no. And there's not an exit anywhere that I can see. And I'm like, there's not even hardly enough room on it. Finally, I was in my pickup. Finally, I'm like, oh, the hell it is. Onto the damn side of the road, half on the curb, down, find an exit, jumped off into a Wendy's. Like, yeah, when it's time to go, man, you all got to get the way.
Yeah, those 911s will hit you in the worst times.
Mm-hmm.
I have hit every exit between here and Knoxville for the last 3.5 years of driving back and forth every week. So, and usually hits me when I don't take the time to eat, and then I stop somewhere like Taco Bell or something, and I grab a couple things off the dollar menu. That's good for about an hour. Somewhere down the road in an hour, it's going to hit me.
Start sweating.
I had Taco Bell, and it was delicious. What'd you get? Diarrhea, but it was so worth it.
A cleansing. Some people out in California pay for those cleansings. I call it Taco Bell.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that, man. I've got a really good Mexican restaurant right over the hill here, so that's where we're going. Yeah,
we got a good one here out in Kingston Springs too. That's been family owned for about 10 years now, and they're good people. They got really good food, and anybody that pops in, that's my go-to usually.
So are we going to talk about any reloading and stuff tonight? I mean, we've touched on a little bit of stuff with the M expander and stuff like that, but seems like we're talking about strippers and Mexican food and food in general.
Nothing wrong with talking about good things in life.
Fort Bragg days, huh?
Strippers and tacos. Hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, my buddies in Fort Bragg said those ladies were abundant all around there.
Man, and some of them, and what happens is they eventually retire from that life, and whatever drugs that they were using to get through it just take over. And you'll see this woman walking down the street. She weighs about 18 pounds, got like on one flip flop, one fuzzy, it's like, oh my God, whatever life did to you, bless you. Like, it's not, you get to a church, we can help.
Yeah, that was that way. And then I had a brother-in-law that was in the Navy in Norfolk, and Norfolk was just about as bad. Same thing. I saw more of what you were just talking about there than I did anywhere else. So
Norfolk, man, I think getting through Norfolk, I've yet to make it through that town without getting lost.
Yeah, it's hard.
And I'm pretty good. But I come over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge or one way or the other, and I'm getting lost every time. It's like just no way around it. I don't know why. There's some kind of interchange there that just, for whatever reason, just screws me up.
Well, it's all those Navy guys going about 120 on their motorcycles all around you too.
Yeah, that of course, yeah, exactly. Trying to navigate in a bee's wasp hornet plow. Oh man.
So, reloading. This is going to be my next obsession, is transitioning into rifle reloading, because I am obsessed with this Grendel and enjoying shooting it with the ELD Hornady Blacks, but realize that that's pretty much a limit, and that's the most available round for that I'm finding anywhere around Nashville. So anybody have experience reloading anything in that range? Any of the 6.8s, the Creeds or the Grendels? Anybody in here doing that? I know a lot of y'all do accuracy stuff.
Yeah. I mean, Big Al's doing some Grendel stuff. Mooser, who isn't with us tonight, I don't know if we sent him an invite or not. He was a Grendel guy. I think he's doing Creedmoor now, but he was doing Grendel and AR platform for deer hunting, and he had a lot of info, man. He was doing a lot of crazy stuff with that.
And I'm looking forward to it. I need to get my case trimmer and some stuff like that. I've saved my break-in brass at this point. I've got enough to kind of get started on it, but I need to get a good. I know that there's a lot of options on the single stage. I mean, the good heavy rifle single stages, but I'm leaning towards, I think, the Lee Cast, just because of the Lee system with the plates and stuff would be interchangeable on that. Am I thinking right about that, or? Yeah.
I just, like I said, it depends on what you're wanting to do. I mean, I've got a Lee Classic Cast single stage, and it's a great press. I love it. I've got other presses as well. Whenever I do rifle, I just do it on a single stage, but it's because I don't load a lot of it at one time.
Yeah.
I do 50 rounds. That's about it, at one shot. So I just use that Lee single stage, or I lose my lineman. I don't think it makes much of a difference one or the other. Kenny was talking about about having more of a free floating setup for alignment purposes and concentric stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's possible, I guess, using the rubber O-rings for the lead dies to try to give the die a little bit of wobble to self-center. And I think the Forster is supposed to, the way it's set up, the case can free float more. I don't know how much that stuff makes a difference until you get Nat's ass 5,000 yards, but.
Yeah, I could probably, if I sold a kidney, find a Forster somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. I've got a kid around here somewhere I don't need.
Yeah. One of them's kind of making me mad. Maybe it's a good time.
Yeah, man. I've done one of the things I've always done with rifle is what I consider. But see, here's the other thing. You look at Josh over at 243 Outdoors, and he's got a Lee Challenger, like the second cheapest press known to man.
Yeah.
And it's all about just taking your time and just trying to do things well. I'm a big proponent of the Lee neck sizer, or I find that to be really useful for my stuff. But so you run yours in an auto, right?
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm really shooting for accuracy. I'm not really. I'm not doing the rapid the dumps or anything. That's not the. It's got the potential to do that, but my real goal is just focus. So.
Signal Soldier 31 said he likes his turret press. I've got that 4-hole turret press, and I love it. That's the first press I bought, and I'm telling you, man, the first round I reloaded was for 30-06.
Nice.
So,
well, that's the other thing that I want to work on, kind of dialing in, as my 7 rim mag, which is, as you know, is kind of it's a much bigger case than it's more in line with the 308. So,
not really.
It's not.
That's a belted Magnum. You're looking at another whole rock you're turning over there.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one. And I've got a bunch of that saved from over the years because I have kept brass, and I've had that rifle since 88 or 89, somewhere in there. So, and most of what you find here is the Winchester, the Super X and stuff, the hunting rounds, and they're just not super accurate. They're not as accurate as that gun's capable of being.
That's for sure. But I got to tell you, as far as for my 30-06, that's my go-to round for deer hunting. I use a 180 grain PowerPoint, and like I've told Kyle and all these nice people before us, you just back the truck up, throw the deer in there, because you ain't got to go follow it nowhere.
Yeah.
You put it right behind that shoulder, and it'll work.
Yeah. I had an old Weatherby 30-06. That was my first bolt action. First bolt action, because I hunted growing up with 30-30. So that was that 30-06 was my first experience shooting with the bolt action. It was a nice gun too.
Weatherby makes good stuff, man. You never go wrong buying Weatherby.
Yep.
If I'm loading precision rounds, I use Fireform brass, of course, out of my rifle. I'll neck size them. I'll weigh the bullets out. If I'm going for full precision, I don't use cast bullets because, let's face it, the jacketed ones are better. I'll weigh the bullets out, get lots of around the exact same weight of bullets and the exact same weight of brass. Everything is the powder's hand measured, the primers are hand seated, and I turned my Dillon 550 into a single stage press. And everything is exactly the same, and the results are notable. I mean, you can stack them right on top of each other at 500, 800 yards, which, I mean, I'm using a 308. 1,000 yards, 1,000 meters is about as far as you're going to go with it anyway. But I live in Georgia.
Yeah.
If I'm going to go deer hunt, I'm going to use a 35 Remington. But for seeing if you can shoot a salad dressing cup at 300 yards, I'm going to use my 308.
Yeah, Chico found me a 550 deal used. Yeah, what was that, Chico? About 8 weeks ago. And
I remember.
Those,
well, I'll tell you,
those come and go.
It was April 14th, because I was sitting there with a $3,000 check in my hand to send to Uncle Sam, and that's why I couldn't do it.
That's right. Yeah, you text me back, and I was like, dang, yeah. And I think I sent Nathan some stuff. Those deals come and go, and you guys know, man, when you see a deal, when you like, oh, that's a good price, you best believe it's probably gone in less than a day.
Yeah. I keep up with those.
But it happens like that.
They're few and far between.
Yeah, I got really lucky on getting that 450 for $100.
I don't have my iPad out here, so I can't watch the side chat. But I was watching Uncle Al's video, and I'm like, yep, he drank the Kool-Aid. There it is.
Big Al, not Uncle Al. Getting two people mixed up.
Let's let's talk about that for a second. Big Al posted earlier that he likes Hornady brass, and there's nothing wrong with it, in my opinion. But you'll hear a lot of people complain that for reloading purposes, that the Hornady brass tends to be shorter than the trim to length in our books. But if y'all go to Sammy's website and check the minimum, I think you'll find that there's a big difference between what the Sammy minimum is and what's listed on your in your reloading manual. See, when you on the reloading manual, they're not going to check Sammy. They're going to say trim it back 10 thousandths and go there. Well, that's for people that like trimming brass, because with 223, especially out of a AR, you can get some pretty good stretching. You can stretch probably 5 thousandths every time you shoot it. But Big Al, be careful with that Hornady brass. Keep a check on it, and all you gotta do. What I want more important to me than where it is that it's all the same length. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I never want to go past that maximum length, because then you start wanting to get your brass pinched in with the bullet into the rifling, and that's going to cause you some pressure spikes. And we're staying away from there. George Boy, what's up, Pastor? Thanks for coming. But yeah, man, that's just be careful with that, Big Al. What I was wanting to say.
So what I was told was that, and this came straight from Kenny, is that pancake primers are the new thing.
Oof, that was terrible, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was kind of scary.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
From factory.
Yeah. Daniel, I just want to answer this real quick. Daniel asked about crimp for the 450 Bushmaster. It headspaces on the case mouth. So just true the case mouth back up after you've expanded. Just get it back right. Make sure you have 1 to 2 thousandths, bullet tension, and don't crimp at all. If you're shooting a 300 grain XTP, it's going to have a crimp groove. You can either deep seat it just a touch to get out of the groove, or just be careful with it and just don't crimp. I don't think the dies have a roll crimp area in them, but they could. I don't know. So just be careful with that. No crimp at all. If you do have one that will do a Lee rifle style factory crimp die where it's got a collet in there, that would probably work, but I don't have one of those dies and I haven't seen one yet available. And Jamie, I agree. My problem with Hornady brass is that depending on what you're reloading, you reload mixed brass. So your crimps aren't going to work in the Hornady because it's way shorter than everything else. And so then you got to cut all your brass down, and then it's just why not just make? And I understand this SST bullet thing. It's just I don't like that. That really. I know a lot of people got fired up when they started making small pistol primer 45 ACP brass. I get that, but Hornady deciding that they're going to make their brass 10 thousandths or more shorter than everybody else. That's just nonsense.
And
really,
I bought I bought a pack of 50 for 35 Remington. That's what I've been doing a lot of my series on, is Remington, old Remington, and that new Hornady brass. But where I've noticed it the most, and yeah, it's shorter for 35 Remington, but where I've noticed it the most is 357 Magnum. I mean, it's not a whole lot longer than 38 Special.
Yep, 45 Colt, same thing. It's so short that you'll mistake it for a 44 Special, I think, for no reason.
So what are our
their reasoning is why?
And the reason they did it because of their lever revolution or whatever, their bullets that have that tip on them that makes the bullet length basically too long.
Oh, gotcha.
So they decided, oh, I know what we'll do. We'll just trim our cases shorter instead of just seating the bullet deeper. It makes no sense to me.
That makes a lot of sense to me. We're looking at you're keeping that capacity in the inside the case, your internal pressure the same.
But if you say it doesn't, no, you don't, because if the case capacity is the case capacity, because the bullet overall length or the case over or the cartridge overall length stays the same. So no matter how much you trim that brass back, that overall length isn't changing. Why just not leave the brass to the right length and just deep seat the bullet?
Because if you seat the bullet deeper down into the case,
it's already deeper, Jamie. They just cut the daggum brass shorter.
So you got less neck tension.
Well, I don't know why they did it. They cut the brass short, but the overall length is still the same as the overall length. So the case capacity stays exactly the same. Why didn't they just leave the brass the right length?
I think they're trying
I think it's because I think it's because of the daggum crimp groove in the bullet, so that they could get it into
trying to cater to the people that reload that don't trim the brass. They can get 4 or 5 reloads out of it before it's out of spec, and then they'll throw it away.
But when you're talking about 357 mag, when you're talking about 45 Colt, 4570, you don't have to trim that stuff a lot anyway.
Yeah, that shit don't spread. But I mean rifle brass. I'm not familiar with the Hornady brass when it comes to straight wall cases. I have seen it on rifle cases, and yes, it is short. And I'm thinking they're doing it for people that just don't trim. You can get 4 or 5 loads out of it and throw it away. There's still 4 or 5 loads if you just trim it. But
I think they're doing it because Hornady does a lot of stuff to try to make their stuff proprietary, and I think it's Hornady's nature. I think it's basically a marketing gig. So basically what happens is you end up with 20 or 30 Hornady brass, and the next thing you know, you're buying all your brass from Hornady so that it's all the same length.
You want me to expand on that just a minute? Check this out. Here's one of these bullets that you're talking about. This is a Hornady FXT, and it's got the polymer tip on it. And look where that cantilure is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a Sierra Pro Hunter. Same bullet weight, but it's the round nose design. And look where the cantilure is on that. Check that out.
Yeah.
That's a big old honking difference right there, boys.
Absolutely. And I don't exactly understand why they decided to do it that way. And all that is stuffed down into that little itty bitty midget short case.
This one.
And when Hornady makes their little itty bitty short cases, that all that bullet shank is stuffed down in there. So when you go to reload it,
if you get it on the cantilure, you pretty much putting the bottom base of the bullet right there where the shoulder starts. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you put this one in there, and this is a Remington case, by the way. Check that out.
And cutting that case shorter does not help matters in the least bit.
No, how can it?
It moved the bullet down so that cantilure stays in the same place, and tell me you got more or less case capacity.
I've done showed you that, Nathan.
You don't. If you cut the case shorter, you end up with less case capacity. Why not leave the case the exact same length and seat the bullet deep?
Makes more sense. But this is a Remington case. This is not a Hornady case.
Mm-hmm.
But mine that don't matter anyway because I've already trimmed them. I've shot all the Hornady cases until they've stretched and then trimmed them back. But yeah, I agree with what Kyle said. Maybe they're trying to get more uses out of it for reloaders. But I can trim mine. Scott, what are you leaning toward for a brass trimmer, man?
Well, I've been looking around and I've been watching a lot of y'all's videos, so that's kind of where I'm up in the air on some of this stuff. I've got lists and things written down. I just haven't had the funds or the time to commit into it.
Well, if you're not going to be doing a bunch at a time, the Lee case gauge and lock thing that I showed, that's a good way to do it, and it's cheap. Do it with a electric with a rechargeable drill, battery drill.
Yeah.
And you can go through a pretty good bit in not a whole lot of time. But I've got these bucketfuls of brass, so I got this lathe style trimmer. Well, you saw my video, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
So the lathe style, you can get them figured out where they'll trim it to a consistent length. You can really go through some in a bunch. And I really like the Hornady one because of the cam lock feature on there. But that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah, that
So,
makes.
Jamie, let me ask a question. Could I piggyback off that
Yes,
about the trimmer? Because I got a question because I'm in the market for a trimmer. Don't know what kind of trimmer. I've been looking at a lot of trimmers. Y'all know that. Y'all probably know that. But I don't want to buy a Dillon trimmer. I don't want to buy a Dillon trimmer at all. But it's awesome, the one I've seen. But so this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to be loading a lot of 223, 556. I've got plenty of that on hand. But a lot of my brass is going to be repurposed for 300 blackout. So that a lot of this empty brass I have, 556, 223, going to be, I'm going to make 300, or I want to make 300 blackout out of it. And it's a lot of it. So that wouldn't be a good thing to get that trimmer for me based on I'm going to have a lot of that brass to do, correct? That drill one.
Can I interject on this one?
Absolutely.
Actually, yeah. Any of you guys, if you got or even in the side chat.
If you're cutting down 556 to make 300, I think it's squirreldaddy.com.
Yeah.
Makes a trimmer that fits in your drill that you set up one time. It's got Allen head set screws to set your depth and all that stuff. What you're going to do is you're going to chop it, then you're going to size it in your 300 blackout die, and you can come over to the house and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. You size it, and then you stick it in that trimmer, and it's done. It's deburred. It's chamfered on the end. I mean, it's good to go, and it works excellent. I mean, you just wear some gloves because every now and then it could grab and spin the brass in your hand, but you just and it's done.
Exactly like that, by the way.
Do what now?
Nothing, man. I'm just giving you shit.
Okay.
Lee makes that quick trim. That if you're only doing 1 or 2 calibers, you can get that going for what is it, like $18, something like that per caliber.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about where the Squirrel Daddy is. I'm not going to go inside and dig through the basement and find it because it's been so long. I made 1,000 pieces of brass and then put it up, but it's an awesome little setup. And once you just chop it, run it through your sizing die, which is going to make it longer, so you can adjust your chop length to get it close, and then just and you're done.
Cool.
And the cool thing about the Lee, and I'm assuming the Squirrel Daddy thing you're talking about does the same thing, but it's chamfered and deburred when you lower that ram and pull that case out. So,
yeah, exactly.
Well, Scott, if you're looking for a benchtop one, I used a Lyman AccuTrimmer, and this thing is pretty doggone good. It's the cheapest one I think there is. It uses any of your shell holders. It doesn't have to have I know the Hornady has a pretty big pilot, and I think it needs Hornady shell holders. This will use any. kind of a pain in the ass to set up to get perfect as far as adjusting it. But once it's adjusted, it's fine. And I don't know, $35-$40.
Yeah, I think I saw Uncle Jim do a video on that one, and I did look at it, but he was doing something to tweak it and perfect it, which kind of,
Yeah.
that was kind of the the newbie kind of looking at it going, well, that might be even more challenge to the equation. So
Yeah, when you're starting out, you don't want to have to rebuild your tools.
Yeah, I had to put a washer on my Hornady one to keep it from moving once I got it set to where I wanted it, because that the handle or that power adapter will screw all the way up on there way too far and start moving the two knurled things to adjust it right here. But Scott, you and Chico want to talk for a minute about what we were talking about the other night?
yeah, we kind of were floating around this idea of a get together, maybe a celebrating independence somewhere around there kind of get together. And we're kind of throwing around some ideas, and thinking that we could do something in Georgia, go to one of the public courses. And then I kind of dropped this idea of a relatively new place here in Tennessee. It's actually not too far from Chattanooga. It's in Spencer, Tennessee. It's called Dead Zero Shooting Park. And if I can get my screen share on, I'll share some of this. There we come. I think I'm going to go through the death. Here we go. Start this screen share. And so we kind of threw that around just for a little while after the chat. And this place is actually a really nice setup. It's an all-around kind of shooting park that's got your 100-yard increments between 100 to 1,000 for rifle. It's got your short through your 50 pistol and carbine bays. It's got sporting clays. It's pretty much an all-inclusive event style place. So, I mean, they specialize in a lot of these different things in training, but I was like, I'll reach out to them and kind of see exactly what they might do. And so this week I kind of reached out to them, and they got back to me pretty quickly. And the owner asked a little bit about us and kind of, what our channels were and what we did. And I kind of filled him in a little bit. And he said, well, the interesting thing is we're thinking about kicking off our own YouTube channel sometime this summer. So maybe if your content creators are interested, we might be able to come up with something where y'all get together here and we do a big shooting event, and y'all can do stuff and we can kick off our channel with that. So that's kind of where it is. I kind of threw out end of June through early July to him as possibilities, and kind of shooting for around the 4th of July, but said, I didn't know. He said they had a good many openings around there. So what do you say, Jamie? Say this is maybe throwing it out there to see if there's any interest in it?
Absolutely. How far is that from Chattanooga? Do you happen to know?
Let me pull up this map on here.
There we go.
Come on, pop up the Google map bigger. Now it's zooming in and it's not increasing. View larger image. Sorry. I am brain dead today. So Fall Creek Falls is up here, which is about halfway between Chattanooga and Cookeville, Tennessee. And Spencer is, Chattanooga's here. Spencer's kind of over here off. There's Dayton and all this down here, and Tracy City and all this over here. It's kind of south of McMinnville and south of, so I'm going to say it's within probably 40 minutes of Chattanooga, 45 minutes of Chattanooga.
Chattanooga's only about, I would say, right at an hour if traffic's bad, maybe an hour and 15 minutes from me, and we could all meet up.
For all of us.
Yeah, I think when I shot down there and met you, it took me all of maybe 2:15, 2.5 from the west of Nashville to make it all the way through Chattanooga to meet you down at that range. So that's what, south of Dalton. So it's not that far up into there, not far at all. And it's a pretty rural location. They've got everything from like they've got a big, all those things. Plus they've got a big meeting room and sales area and training facilities. And I mean, they do everything from, just standard EDC training and other types of training and stuff too. And they've even got competitive leagues. I think they run 3-gun leagues and stuff out of there. So it's a pretty nice new facility that's run by veterans, and they seem to be really running it right.
That does sound awesome.
And the point of our talk tonight to share with y'all is we want as many of you guys that are making videos to come join us as we can get up there, particularly if they're going to be kicking off a new YouTube channel. And so if you're interested in joining us sometime around the week of 4th of July, please get in touch with me or Scott or Chico. And Nathan, I hope you can make it up. And
Well,
it's closing in on 9:30, so we might ought to start working on a giveaway.
yep. All right, guys. So 2 weeks ago, we had our 1-year anniversary there for the Georgia Shooting Connection, and we told you we were going to do a giveaway for a set of 45 Colt dies, some brass, some bullets, some more bullets, and some rounds. And Chico's showing those off right now. So it's all 45 Colt stuff. I asked you guys to go onto Headspace and comment on a thread there, and we had 9 entries. So your chances are high if you jumped in. So Tread, I know you put in there Jeremy Gunslinger. So we got 9 people's names on these here pieces of paper. I'll throw them in this here hat. And just pull out one. Somebody that's probably not even on the live stream, Cameron B. All right. So I'll get up with him on the Headspace, and if you're in the side chat, Cameron B. No idea who you are, brother, but send me a message, or I'll get up with you on Headspace. And there you are. Ha! There you are. It's the Brain thing. Okay, fair enough.
Cameron Braden, right?
Yeah, his YouTube is different than the Headspace. Congrats, brother. I'll get up with you on Headspace, and we'll get some addresses going on, and we'll get some stuff mailed out to you. So,
yeah, I'm really congratulations to Cameron. I'm really expecting George Boy to make it up to Tennessee. He said he got banned from Tennessee when he was a teenager. So
I'll get him a key.
All right. Tread said, "What if we don't exactly make videos?" And I'm like, "Tread, you better come." So, yeah, he's just right over there to Augusta. But we want to show these folks that the YouTube gun community is alive and well. So I really want a good many of us to show up. Is that the idea, Scott?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I enjoy just meeting all you guys. I love hanging out with people, and no better way to do it than with some fun guns and shooting involved. So that'll be a blast to do something, to do a kind of a day event with them. And as soon as we can kind of get a feel for, how many people might be coming, I'll shoot them an email back and start talking to them more specifically about it. But
so it's be like a day event, or
yep.
Do they have like a campground there where we can bring campers or tents?
If not, there's a lot of places around there to camp. I mean, that's right in the heart of a bunch of national forests and stuff. It's not too far at all from Fall Creek Falls. and Fall Creek Falls is one of the prettiest state parks in Tennessee.
I'm familiar with it. Yep.
Yeah.
I know exactly where you're talking about. Yep.
But that, it's like all of that stuff. It's like the North Georgia stuff. It's those veins of the Appalachian Mountains all through there. So you're riding through curvy, up and down hills and stuff to get to places over there. But it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Perfect motorcycle roads, Nathan.
Yes, yeah. I would love to, man.
Hey, Jamie, can I ride, bitch?
Where would he put his guns?
I'll hold them.
I'm hoping that within the next couple years, I can upgrade to something that's a little bit more interstate worthy.
Well, you can bring Miss Capgun and y'all can make a weekend of it, and we'll help you.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna figure this out. No, I'm going up there. If I've got to rent a car, I'm going up there. I'm not worried about that. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, we can make more of an ordeal out of it.
Yeah, I'd love to. He was pretty excited about the possibility of that, putting that together. I shared a screenshot with Jamie about the email response, and he kind of felt the same way. The guy seems really interested in something, and I'd be glad to, promote anybody like him. Good veterans running a really good shooting business like that.
Yeah, we could help him make a difference and really help him get off on the right foot.
And another thing, just like you said, Jamie, if you don't make YouTube videos and you're looking at launching a channel, this would be a perfect time. Have a meet and greet and everybody go shooting and, edit it up. And that'd be a great first video. It'd be kind of hard to top it for the second one, but.
Hey, you know what, though? And it also sets up a relationship with us and that guy. So who knows what we can end up doing. But, I'm in. That sounds like the kind of time that would just be amazing.
Yeah.
And it's still over a month out, so you got time to make your plans. All you boys in Utah can go ahead and start saving up your pennies for your airplane tickets and come on. We'll pick you up at the airport. You can fly into Atlanta or Chattanooga. We'll come get you.
I happen to be coming.
Don't try to take your guns through airport security, though. Bad idea.
Do what, Scott?
Oh, come on. Why turn down a good frisk search?
I said I can pick them up in Nashville.
That'd be good too. Yeah, you can tell Kyle hadn't been strip searched in a while.
It's been a minute, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, but you put your guns in those locked cases, and that'll be fine. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm so excited about this. I've not reloaded for my 270 yet, but I'm going to start reloading for 270, and I'm going to work on getting me some good rounds. And I know I'm not going to hit the broadside of a barn from the inside at 1,000 yards, but I'm going to take it as far as I can.
I'll load us up some.
That's a stretch, isn't it?
10 grainers that are just sweet.
Yeah,
And
that whole facility is huge. I'm looking at the map on it, and I didn't get to see it the other night. We were on the chat when we were talking about it, but when you look at the aerial view where they show, I count 15 different markers, and everything is a different course. It's like, dang, that's actually probably 30.
It looks like it ought to be a golf course.
Yeah, it does look like a golf course. That's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, my lights. But yeah, that'll be cool.
They are on both Instagram and Facebook too, and they started that stuff out here not too long ago, so they do have some pictures and stuff that'll show you around on the facility there. I have to do an early run down there and just check it out and video it myself a little bit.
Yeah, so lever guns 50, 110. We don't know what it's going to cost yet, but I'm sure Scott's going to be negotiating that.
Yeah.
And George, boy, I think lever guns were invented in Tennessee. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I would think I would like to and he sounds interested enough to maybe cut a deal just to get some exposure, do a kickoff kind of thing for their YouTube channel out of it, and that would be my desire. If we can get him enough exposure between all of us, that's probably a pretty good deal. So I'll talk more specifically with about him. I may reach back out this week a little bit more.
What would be epic is if we could be there on our Friday night live stream after we've had fun shooting and have him as a special guest.
Oh, I need to look at my calendar real specifically on that kind of stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Let me see what day 4th of July is. And that's when I was thinking, July the 4th. But, if I'm not mistaken, well, it's on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's on a Thursday. July the 4th is on Thursday. So there you go.
Let me look here.
A lot of folks get off that whole week. So I'm thinking any day that week whatever works best for them. The Friday would be cool.
Jamie, the only reason that you think a lot of folks get the whole week off is because you work for the school system, sir.
Why is that funny, Chico?
Because he worked for the school system. He's off the whole summer, right?
Far from it.
I know.
We're busier in the summer doing projects than we are all year.
That's when he gets caught up, Chico. He gets behind
ready.
during the school year.
He's getting ready for the new school year.
Yep.
Well, I'm just glad to see that I now qualify for some old age discounts at 55.
Well, here's free senior coffee.
Yep, I get that. I get to swim for free this summer at the local public pool because I turned 55 after last summer. So,
hey, RP, man.
I had a good friend that worked at AARP for about 3 years, 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. And when I turned 40, he put me on their mail list and started sending me AARP cards and stuff like that when I turned 40. I just about kill him every time I see him now.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't got one to my house yet, but they'll start coming.
Check it out, Chico.
Telling you that.
Got a nice little brim. Yeah, I didn't see it.
I want me a purple feather like them bad purple bullets you was making.
Some purple rings I got.
Some purple rain feathers to go in that hat.
Man, I've been playing around with that purple powder coat, man. I like it. I've got a lot of comments on his powder coat.
I love that color.
That's pretty.
I don't know if this gonna show up too good, but I took that and that white I got from that company because the white shows good too, but this is it really went like lavender.
Yeah.
It's hard to see. But
that's nice.
That's this purple and white mixed together, but that purple is so deep, it's like candy. That's the name of it anyway.
I don't know how well this shows up. Check out that turquoise. That's
not.
Is that a mix?
No, this is it looks a lot like the Ford Light Blue on camera, but it's not that same color. It's very blue-green, very turquoise. And
that reminds me of the Cranky Cletus turquoise that he sent me for my 380.
Ocean had a turquoise one time too, didn't he? Or aqua? Was it turquoise or aqua? It looked similar.
Cranky said I need a Georgia Boy 44 Copperhead hat band for that hat.
Yeah.
And a turkey feather. That would be cool.
Hey, because somebody asked what normal pricing is, it looks like the pistol shooting bays or all day pass is like $20 for non-members, and 24-hour for like the 1,000, the 100 to 1,000. It's got like hour pricing on the $12 an hour on that, but that's the one that's got like the electronic feedback on the target hits on it and stuff. So I'm guessing we're probably can work some kind of deal out just to make an all day a thing of it and to video a lot and to do a lot of sharing with them and stuff. So
yeah, I figure if we can get 10 to 20 of us, that would be a pretty good show. And then I would hope that they'd taken cordon off a section to where we don't have to deal with a whole bunch of interlopers. But that sounds like the best time I'll have in quite a while. That sounds really good.
I mean, they've even got things like you can even rent outdoor pavilions by the day, the half day, and stuff on things there. So I mean, I'm sure he's going to want to work out some kind. He just needs to know roughly a head count of how many people that we would be planning on. Really,
yeah.
I'm in.
We got 5 here. I think it's pretty serious.
Yeah, I told him I thought that at least we'd probably be looking in the 8 to 12 range by the time things kind of fell in place, but it could be more. So
yeah,
I'd love to see anybody
Jeremy
come.
Gunslinger said he's coming from Arkansas.
Nice.
and I'll be bringing my other half most likely. I don't know. It depends on exactly when it is and whether or not she can pull herself away from work.
But it would be really cool for us to have a bunch of footage and everything and then do our live stream live with him to talk about his facilities. I just think that would work out great. Maybe we'll have to move it to a Saturday. I don't know. But
yeah. No idea, man. I've got a whole thing in my head building that most likely ain't true, but I'm picturing everybody going out to some campground or whatever afterwards, and tents and beer and something burning on a fire, and yeah,
we will ignite the flame pit and char the mammal flesh.
yeah, exactly.
I don't want to burst your bubble, Nathan, but you ain't gonna be that far from Sticky Fingers in Chattanooga.
Oh man, that is the bomb.
That is,
That
It is.
every time I go through downtown Chattanooga, it's gotta stop there, brother.
Never had it, never even heard of it. Now I have.
oh man, go to your local Food Line or Piggly Wiggly or whatever. They're gonna have Sticky Fingers barbecue sauce. They sell it. I think Publix has got it too. Try it. No matter where you're at in the country, they've got a barbecue sauce for you. They've got mustard from South Carolina, mayonnaise based, vinegar based from North Carolina, tomato based from like Kansas City, molasses. They got what you need. Why are you looking so weird, Scott?
I'm looking at the map and I'm not putting my glasses on.
Oh.
Jeremy Gunslinger, you don't have to say that phrase, brother. Let me explain something to you. If the good Lord's willing, the creek ain't gonna rise. So Lord willing is sufficient. So there you go, bud. You'll be there. I'm looking forward to meeting you live and in living color.
Tell you what, just if anybody wants to know, I'm going to throw the link to their website into the side chat. If I can find what layer the side chat is underneath here. There we go. Throw that out there. And I will also put their address copy. Throw their address out there just for giggles.
Cranky Cletus, you will not be sorry. Sticky Fingers, I don't care what it costs. I got it. If I'm going through Chattanooga, I got to, unless Scott knows of a better barbecue joint than Sticky Fingers.
That's hard to beat. It really is.
I know a good one in Arkansas off of I-40, but it's a lot closer for me to go to Sticky Fingers. If I'm up
I know
for
a good place
barbecue.
down here that got good chili dogs.
Woo! I might drive down to Georgia, down to Atlanta first. I'll meet
Let's
you
hit
guys.
it up. Let's hit it up.
Gotta love the varsity, man. Gotta love the varsity.
Man, we'll have heart. We'll be having.
Order rings.
We'll be having heart attacks on the shooting range. Go to the varsity and then the sticky fingers, man.
What a way to go.
You talking about a bucket full of cholesterol, man.
What a way to go, though.
I know it. Oh, Mike sent me a thing yesterday, a message on YouTube, and he sent me a link to Louis Grizzard, one of his old videos. And I'm here to tell you guys, there has never been a more dedicated Southerner, Georgia Bulldog football fan. I miss Louis, but yeah, it was good to see one of his old videos. One of the things I want to, and Scott, I mean, Nathan, I'm not sure if you know this or not, but I'm sure you have. You've been down here so long. When, like me and Kyle would be sitting on the porch, and I would say, Kyle, you want a Colt? And he'd say, yeah, sure. And I'd say, well, what kind do you want? You know? And he'd say, what kind do you got? And I said, well, I got Sprite, Coke, Dr. Pepper, RC, and Double Cola. They're all Cokes in the South.
Yeah.
They're all Cokes.
They're not pops.
No, that's
north.
That's
way
way, yeah.
like Michigan.
But notice I didn't say Pepsi.
Sacrilege. You might have to spit at these.
That's right.
No, my dad was a huge Louis Grizzard fan. The times I can remember him reading the paper and just giggling the whole time he would read the Louis Grizzard column.
His articles in the paper were spectacular. He was actually a journalist. He would tell you the truth, and then he would tell you his opinion on it, and you could form your own opinion on the entire column.
Yep.
That shit don't happen no more. Now they try to tell you what to think.
Yeah, it'd be fun to meet Jeremy and a lot of you guys. I really, yeah, Cranky says they're all soda.
It's not soda. It's Coke.
Well, it's soda.
It is.
Texas people love calling everything Coke.
And if you
calling everything that's brown and caffeinated coffee. No, that's tea, not coffee. Things have words.
go up north and tell them you want a sweet tea and watch their eyes roll back in their head.
Yeah, they'll tell you sugar's on the table.
No, wait a minute. Now I've heard that, but I never saw that until I got up north. Where I was at, mid-Atlantic, if you were around Maryland, Delaware, even Pennsylvania, stuff like that, if you wanted unsweetened tea, you asked for unsweetened tea. Otherwise, it came sweetened.
Negative.
If you get to the coast, it is more like that. But there's still places where you go. If you ask them for tea in the South, you get iced tea, sweet. If you ask them for tea, some other places you get hot tea.
In Washington, D.C., if you ask for tea, if you ask for sweet tea, they're going to bring you a glass of ice with some colored liquid in there and tell you the sugar's on the table.
Yeah.
DC doesn't count. It's actually its own
Same
state.
way in Vermont. It's the same way in Virginia.
I've never heard that in Virginia. As many times I've heard that.
A KFC, a Kentucky Fried Chicken, all-you-could-eat buffet in West Virginia saved my life when I was coming back from D.C. because they actually had sweet tea.
Well, Cranky, that's the point, brother. We don't know what soda pop is down here. We just don't use that terminology.
Soda pop, that was that level 12 dude on Mike Tyson's Punch-Out for Nintendo, wasn't it?
I think it was, yeah.
Now, John's handloading said something that to me is kind of, whew. He's talking about sweet tea at McDonald's. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. That stuff, no, sir. Ugh. I can't stand some McDonald's sweet tea. That stuff is terrible.
Terrible. Just terrible.
Now, if you're going to get fast food sweet tea, it's Chick-fil-A. They got the good ice.
Yes.
Or possibly,
Sonic's got good sweet tea.
Sonic, yeah, they got good ice as well. But a lot of those places, man, when they cook the sugar in the tea while the tea's cooking, and end up with like an hour later a fermented nasty. Oh.
Yeah, you can taste that off flavor in there when they do that. Now,
Mhm.
the good old Southern meat and threes, they'll brew that tea, and they'll go ahead and they'll dump their bags of sugar into the container, and then they'll pour that tea after it's brewed in there and let it melt real good. That's the stuff. But when you watch them do it, you think, my Lord, it's half sugar and half tea.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no way you can take bags of sugar or anything and get it that way. Not when it's cold.
No.
So Andy's 79Z28 says, so tonight we have learned about sweet tea and how to load it.
Dating strippers.
There is an order of operations to loading sweet tea. That's awesome.
I hope we hadn't talked about loading strippers. That could be bad.
I think
It kind of does, Georgia boy. He says sweet tea's got to sit for a day. Yeah, that's pretty much right. So
Believe it or not, Louis Grizzard could have probably written an article off of this conversation.
yeah,
He would have.
Hey, look, I could be wrong, guys, but inside, I think whenever you tried to post a link, I don't think it went. I see the address, but I don't think the link took.
I never saw it either. I
Hold on.
don't say anything, but
I'll try it again without the copy.
I figured we could get together here in a little bit and figure it out amongst us.
Because I think when people see it, when they see the website and see the student facility,
I'll tell you what it is, Chico. I'm going to have to hand it to one of you guys that actually has like a wrench. Does that make sense?
I can't bet you. I don't think anyway.
who's got a wrench? I got a toolbox full of wrenches, but I don't have a blue wrench on here.
Hold on.
It'll have to be Jamie probably because he set it up. So let me text this over to him real quick.
just put it in the side chat.
Okay.
Message.
He can't put it in the side chat because he can't put in a link because he's not a moderator.
See if that works.
Chico.
Yes, sir.
I got a wrench.
Nice, well done.
I got to feel it up.
I don't even have a wrench.
I put it in the Hangout group chat, so it's over there. If anybody that can, we'll share it in the side chat.
I've got a bigger one over there. That's where I keep my big ones.
That's what she said.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have moderator, so I can't do it.
Oh, come on, frogs.
Why is that?
He's got some tree frogs around there.
Yeah.
They just won't be quiet, or they're quiet until I come out.
Yankee strippers make better money, unless they're in Florida, in which case they're kind of Yankee by association.
All right, this might get wanky here for a second. By association.
Yeah, John Handler says that is a real wrench. Yep, Ford wrench.
There you go, boys.
That's it.
So yeah, if you're interested, y'all check it out. Check out the facility. I'm interested, very interested. And let Jamie or Insight or me know. Contact us some kind of way, and we'll go from there.
Scotsman, we hope you can make it down to Tennessee on the 4th of July.
How is he in? Hey, there he is.
That would be so fun.
Oh, he's
Show
got
you
a
how to
place
toot
to stay.
that 44 again.
Can't
Chico liked
have all their teeth.
Chico liked that 44, didn't he?
Yeah, that was nice, man. Until I hit about the 4th shot. I was like, yeah.
I'll bring a cup with some pretty good loads for you, Chico.
Yeah, Tim's. The Emperor is correct. You got to have at least 1 cup of sugar in a half gallon of tea.
That's too much for me. I do a cup for a gallon, but I
Yankee.
get half and half when I go to Chick-fil-A too.
Yankee.
So
Yankee.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey.
big man. I think we're pretty much set on the one of those days on the week of the 4th. Either the 4th of July, maybe the 3rd or the 5th, whatever would work well for them. I know most of you guys have family commitments on the 4th of July.
Now you said the 4th was a Thursday, correct?
The 4th is on Thursday this year.
I'm good at any time. It doesn't matter. I just need to know, that way I can tell work I ain't gonna be there. Figure it out.
If the 4th is on Thursday, then I'm gonna take Thursday. I'm gonna be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'll take that up and be up there, whatever. Yeah, I don't see any reason why that's not gonna happen.
I think that would be cool, especially if we could all get together and sling some hammocks or some tents or something around a campfire and just sit around and bullshit live.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
In person.
Live, let's record some stuff, see what's fit for printing.
Well, I'm assuming that they have a clubhouse, and hopefully their clubhouse will have the internet, and maybe we just need to go on and, like, if it's on the 4th of July, we may need to move our live stream to that day.
Oh, Jamie, that sounds awesome.
That sounds 100%.
That would be tits.
That sounds 100% America.
Merca.
That is all kinds of America.
Really, save your pennies.
No pasta and grit. What is wrong with y'all?
Yeah, they seriously don't know what grits are up there. So it's getting close to the top of the hour, so we need to start trying to wrap things up for tonight.
Yeah, sure. We definitely will. Hey, guys, sorry, I don't know what's up with my side chat. I'm not able to see them for about the last 2 minutes, so I was trying to type. But thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully, if some of y'all are interested in this meetup at that awesome-looking range, y'all will contact or be in contact with everybody, and we can coordinate that somehow. I've got a video up on the Reloaders Network. Actually, I got 2 up on the Reloaders Network that's only on the Reloaders Network for a while. So y'all check that out, and thanks for interacting, everybody. Thanks for having me. Jamie, Kyle, Insight, Nathan, and that's it from me.
I'm going to go ahead and jump in while the frogs are screaming. Appreciate everybody being here as always, every weekend. Thanks for taking time out of your Friday evening to come over here and listen to us ramble. Really enjoyed it. I've got some ideas for some videos coming up. It's just really hot in Georgia right now. And I don't like being hot. So I'm going to have to start doing them early in the morning, I guess. Oh, Chico left. Looky there. He's gone. Actually, he's looking out his garage door. Who'd you see? I'm sorry, man. I got to cut up with you. Man, when we going to the varsity?
Gotta be soon.
Well, anyway, we'll work on that. Anyway, Scott, thanks for being here. I appreciate you stopping in, and it was good to have you, brother.
It was fun.
I'm gonna just quit talking because I'm not saying anything. I sound like a politician.
You sound way better than that.
Well, we appreciate that, Kyle. I got lots of video ideas too. I still got 3 test loads to take to the range and shoot, and I want to get that done pretty bad. I was hoping for I'd be able to get some of that done this 3-day weekend, but my list of videos and my wife's list of honeydews just don't happen to coincide at some point. Sometimes y'all know about that. Scott, brother, thanks for joining us. Everybody on the side chat, y'all, thank y'all for joining us on a Friday night again. And we've had up in the 40s and 50s most of the night. So thank everybody that's been here, and congrats to our winners. And we want to see some 45 Colt videos, right, guys? And Scott, thanks again for joining us tonight. What you got going on?
Just traveling from here till Tuesday morning, coming back, and then back in the saddle working. Hopefully shoot a little bit, but I know that there'll be a little time on the lake this weekend and a little time remembering those who have fallen for our freedom, for sure.
That's a good point. Too often we look at Memorial Day as a 3-day weekend and time to do honeydews when we need to be thinking about those who didn't make it back from their tours. But thanks for joining us, Scott. Thanks for that idea. I'm looking forward to it. We want as many folks to come up and join us as we can get. And Nathan, what you got going on, brother?
Oh, we'll see. Who knows? I've got some stuff coming up as far as doing some testing and some stuff like that, but we'll see. I'll get videos up as I can. I've shot a good bit of the 450 Bushmaster stuff. I need to put it all together and have some kind of finish for that video. But go check out hashtag TCS2000. Right, look for Crazy Scotsman. Give him some scribbles. Keep your prayers on family members and things like that of those, the soldiers that we have lost. It is Memorial Day, so we do need to memorialize. I appreciate everybody coming out. Congrats to Cameron B. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it. I know everybody else does. Guys, this whole thing about maybe doing a get together really sounds great. I hope as many of you can come as possible. But it has been a good Friday night, Good Friday, and I appreciate everybody coming out. And until next week, I think, yeah, we will talk to you later. Night.
Bye, everybody.